Conceptual.
Hi, ma'am. Is this Miss Mejia?
This is she.
Hi, Miss Mejia. My name's Humberto de los Rios, and I have a case with Evelyn Hernandez and Veronica Chun.
Okay.
I got actually Muzain's number from a worker inside the office because I'm having a serious problem with my worker and the supervisor.
Who gave you the number?
Jacqueline did.
What's Jacqueline's last name?
I don't know, but I just met her for a second. I mean, that's besides the point. I just got to plead my case to you and let somebody know what's going on with my case.
Okay, how can I help you?
Okay, well, first of all, like, it all started the other day when I had a meeting with my child's mother and Evelyn Hernandez and Julia and Veronica Chun inside the DCFS office, and she basically cussed out Evelyn and Veronica, and I'd asked Veronica if she put that in the report because we're still going to court. And
what child are we? What's your son or daughter's name?
It's Humberto de los Rios.
Humberto
De los Rios.
That's your son's name as well?
Yes, he's the fourth.
Okay, so you came to do a visit here in the office?
Well, okay, like, it's kind of a long story of a lot of stuff that's going on, but like, it's just starting to get really bad. Look, I have 2 jobs. I'm passing all my drug tests. I'm in my counseling therapy classes. I'm doing everything they ask. And last week they didn't give me my visits. This week they still haven't called me till this day for this week's visits. It's like, it's just on and on and on. They keep changing my visits because they can't find somebody to like transport my child, and they tell me, well, because my baby's mom had complained that she was afraid of me for her life, right? So I showed Veronica some text messages that my baby's mom had sent me asking me to come over and, you know, do sexual favors for her. And if I don't, she was mad at me. And then she called you know, I'm gonna use some cuss words, so don't think that I'm like using them to be mad in any angrily way. I'm just trying to approach the situation in a nice, respectable manner. But she said that DCFS workers are fucking idiots and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I showed these to Veronica, and I'm like, look, she's not scared of me. So what happened is one of these days I had seen her boyfriend, who is her new father's child, or her new child's father, and I showed him, I said, look, this is what she's doing, because he said that they're afraid of me. And I told him, look, this is what Heidi's doing, because Heidi's the one in this case. So then all of a sudden, he's not going to transport my child anymore, but he has nothing to do with the case. I have my driver's license, I have a car, I have insurance, I have a home. You know, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to, but I just keep getting punished, and I don't understand why. And it's just on and on like that. And you know what? It's very disheartening, and it's really frustrating that I'm doing everything in my power to be a good father and hold space in a container of love. And you know, I went through my transformation to becoming sober, and now I'm sober, and that was really hard for me. And now I want to be a dad, and I just want equal time with my son, and I feel like I'm just getting less time every week. So last week I'm supposed to get 2 visits a week for 3 hours at a time. Well, last week they messed up my whole schedule because they're saying that Daryl doesn't want to get in, they can't find a transport, and so they moved it to Friday. But it's like, Miss Mejia, I have 2 jobs. I'm responsible now. I'm able to take care of my son. I'm drug testing clean, and they just make it so hard for me. Like, it's not even funny. And another thing is, like, if I need to like really sit down with you and tell you all the details, because I think if you heard what I had to tell you, you would do an investigation on what is going on, because I'm being wronged. I'm being wronged very strictly, like to the point where I don't understand what's going on. Like, I'm questioning whether the system is corrupt, because I have physical evidence to show you to back my case, and I'm not just, you know, being a disgruntled parent who is messing up and doesn't get time with his son. Like, I don't understand what's going on, and I need somebody to investigate further what's going on. And I would like to change my social workers, because I feel like I'm being wronged, because my son is taking a different transport every week And it's not fair to my son that he has to do that, because every time he leaves, he cries and goes with a stranger, and it's very shocking to him. And I reached out to my child psychologist friend who's an MD, and he's like, bro, that's really bad for him. Like, that can be, you know, that time of his life is really important for his psyche and his psychological part of his mind. And I'm not just calling to complain, but like, Miss Mejia, I'm being wronged, and to the point to where like I feel that the system is corrupt and doesn't work for me. So I reached out to you in good grace to ask for help, because it's very disheartening and it's very frustrating what I'm going through when I have
what would you like to see happen? I mean, so you have monitor visits. Obviously, they didn't give the number that they provided me earlier was the correct number. The lady answered and said that number was wrong. It was the 919-6347. Is that your number?
Yeah, that's my number, Miss Mejia. Miss Mejia, the thing about it is this, is like Judge Soto told...
But when I called, some lady answered and said they didn't know who you were.
Well, this is my number. I have no idea what happened. My number is 909-919-6347. But that's besides the point, Miss Mejia. Like, you do not hear the case that I'm pleading to you. I have physical evidence.
No, my question to you is this. This is what I was going to explain to you. If you give me a moment. Prior to getting your message, I had no idea about your case. So I didn't know your child's name. There was no worker. Your worker wasn't identified. You just said that you had an issue with the supervisor, Evelyn Hernandez, and the worker. I now need to look into it so I can have a better understanding of what's going on. But what would you like? You have monitor visits. What would you like to see of this? You said you're going to court, but what would be your, so I can have a discussion with the worker and supervisor. What is it you would like to see happen?
Well, they said that I can have my visits liberalized if I pass 4 drug tests. Well, I haven't been drug tested in 2 weeks, and it's on demand. So there's something going on there. Like, what do you mean? Like, I should be drug tested every week, if not twice a week. And my visits should be around my working schedule, because I have 2 jobs. My baby's mom doesn't have a job, nor a license or a car, so I shouldn't be punished for her not being able to transport myself.
No, you should have a visit schedule so you know when you're coming, so you're not, yes.
And this is like what's been going on, and my baby's mom has already been investigated by your office for child abuse because of bruises on my son. And Judge Soto said if there's anything that happens, that he's taking the baby away from my baby's mom and giving him back to my mom, who was the original, you know, paternal grandparent who had custody. Well, he's still a child of the ward, you know? And I'm totally being wronged, and it's so disheartening and frustrating that I don't know what to do at this point, because I'm doing everything that they ask. And I don't think it's fair that what's going on, and I would like you to further investigate, and I would really like you to change my workers. Because one, in my last trial case, my son's lawyer didn't show up, and neither did my lawyer show up. So that's very auspicious to me in my mind. Like,
yeah, but we don't. The attorneys are separate from our
no,
department.
I get that, but I'm just telling you, I'm giving you a time frame and a timeline of what's been going on. And then I had a meeting because I showed Heidi's boyfriend text, so now he won't transport my son anymore. Well, he shouldn't have anything to do with my case. If she's supposed to be a mom following all the guidelines that she's supposed to be doing, she's supposed to have a license and a car to be able to transport her son. What if she doesn't have a cell phone or no service and he has to go to the hospital? Like, that doesn't make any sense in my mind. And the other thing is that I work 2 jobs, Miss Mejia. I have 2 jobs. I work in music. I signed a record contract, and I work in the studio every day. And I also work in an alternative medicine healing center, where they do alternative medicine, yoga, meditation, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, diet. And I'm just so frustrated with them. And every time I cry out for them, to them, it's constant resistance that I met from them. Like this last meeting that I had, because I showed these texts, they called me in the office. I asked Veronica if she recorded what she said or wrote down what she said, and she didn't have an answer for me, because she didn't. And I'm like, really? So she could tell Evelyn, fuck you, that's not the way it works, you guys are fucking idiots, and get up to walk out of the meeting, and Evelyn has the audacity to tell me that, well, you lost your nerve too, when I didn't say a word. And I don't think that's very fair or right that they would do that to me, because I've come a long way and I've worked really hard to get sober just for me and my son to be a better dad and be a great father. And I'm constantly being punished for it. And I'm supposed to have my visits liberalized, and they're like deliberalizing my visits.
Well, I'm not familiar with the case at all, sir, to be quite honest, so I need to look into it. Will you give me a couple of days and I'll call you back by Friday, because I won't be in the office tomorrow and Thursday, so it gives me Thursday to look into it. Is that okay?
Yeah, but can I have your word that you at least look into it? Because I've asked for help from so many people, Miss Mejia, that it's not fair.
I will look into it. I will definitely look into it.
In good faith, I can have. In good faith,
as a matter of fact, I can't speak to Evelyn today because she's not here today, so I wouldn't be able to get a response from her. But I would definitely look into it and call you and give you a status as to why your visits have not been liberalized. Okay?
Okay, and also, like, I'm about to lose one of my jobs, Miss Mejia, and it's not fair because most dads at the DCFS office don't even have a job and are still on drugs. I have 2, and they move my visits around so much that my work told me that they're gonna fire me, and it's my dream job. I finally got my record deal, and I'm about to lose it. Like, I can't support my son if I don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I completely understand. Well, give me some time to look into it, and I'll call you back, and I'll see if we can get your visits scheduled on a certain day, certain time, so you're not having to, juggle your work schedule and change it. So let me talk to him. Let me figure out what's going on. I'll call you back on Friday. But you're saying this number's correct, 909-919-6347?
Yes, that's my number.
Okay. That's the number. I will call you back on Friday, okay?
Okay, so what am I supposed to do until then? Because I still don't have an answer from my work on when I'm supposed to get my visits.
I'm gonna email that. I can talk to Veronica and make sure she calls you today, or by tomorrow to give you the date of your visit. Veronica's here, so I can talk to her about making sure you get your visit this week.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it would be the best if you could just give me one day for 6 hours, because I'm in the middle of writing an album for an artist that's gonna probably take care of me and my son for the rest of our lives.
I don't know. I mean, 6 hours. We can do. We can try. I don't know if we can give you 6 hours or one day. That's a lot for our monitors to do, because they have other visits.
My mom is the monitor. His paternal grandma, because they fired her. They told her she couldn't be the monitor. Like, we need to really sit down, and I need to present my evidence against all this stuff, because if I show you the evidence, I feel that you are gonna not believe what is going on and how they're handling my case. And I really want a new supervisor and a new CPS worker. Like, I'm not demanding, but I'm asking very strongly that I get a new CPS worker and a new supervisor, because I do not trust them, and they are just like, it's so disheartening for me, and it's so frustrating that I cannot take it anymore, and I'm asking for your help. I'm pleading for your help to change my monitor, my CPS worker and my supervisor, because I have no faith in them anymore, and I do not believe a word that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, but you know, when a case has been serviced by, and when you're a court date, we tend not to change workers.
Okay, but how has your worker been changed already? I used to have another worker, and they changed to Veronica and Evelyn, and it seems like as soon as that happened, I've just been met with resistance in the worst type of place that I've ever been in. So if it's changed once, it can change again. And
I don't know the circumstances of why. It could have been that the worker left, or worker, took another job.
Well, her name is Gabby Flores. You can talk to Gabby Flores about it. Gabby will tell you. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair, and I really think I'm being mistreated, and I really need your help, Miss Mejia, to really look into this. Okay,
Humberto, well, let me call and find out what's going on with your visits and see why we haven't liberalized your visits. I see if we liberalize your visits, that might solve a lot of the issues, but I need to look into it. I need to talk to them to get a better understanding of what's going on, okay?
Okay, so when am I supposed to hear back from you?
I said Friday. I'll call you back Friday.
Okay, so I don't know about my visits tomorrow, you said?
I'm gonna call Veronica right now, see if I can get a hold of her.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Mejia.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to talking to you on Friday, because I have a folder full of evidence that I can show you, physical copies of evidence.
Okay, I will call you Friday, but let me see if I can get a hold of Veronica before the day is over to schedule your visit, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
These motherfuckers are not on my team, bro. They're fucking me, trying to keep my son away from me.